Welcome to Redtastic. Story 1. I45 Female adopted my son, Jeffrey, 21 male, when he was only 2 years old after his junkie mom got arrested for grand larceny. So the cops adopted him out to me. The adoption was a closed one. It means biological parents aren't involved. As for his dad, no one knows where he is. I was only 24 years old by then, but I gave Jeffrey the best of everything he desired. It was hard for others to tell that he wasn't my real son because of the love and care I showed him all this while. But 2 years ago, I cut off ties with Jeffrey over his misbehavior. Jeffrey came to me asking that I help him track down his biological mom. Naturally, I refused, because based on what I know, his mom got out of jail but had returned to her junkie lifestyle. So it wouldn't be safe to let them reunite. Jeffrey got angry at me for not agreeing to his request and told me that no matter what, I was just his adoptive mom and could never be his biological mom. He wanted her contact. I explained to him that it was a closed adoption, but he told me to my face that I was just jealous. So he went ahead to track her down all by himself. After searching for a long time, he finally found her. But she wasn't in good condition. That is how everything began. She lied to him about how he got adopted. She told him it was a normal adoption, and it was because she was still a student by then, so she had no option. She even told him she contacted me, but I refused to let her see him. Jeffrey fell for her lies just like that. He came back calling me every single name in the book for preventing him from reuniting with his mom. I told him his mom was still a junkie and everything she said was a lie, so he would regret his actions that day. But he said he doesn't want to have anything to do with me again and that just because I have money, I could bully others anyhow. So that day we cut off ties with each other and I quit paying for his tuition. I already paid for his third-year college fees, but there was no way I would be paying for his final year. When he went over to his mom's, she was sick because of the drugs she was on. She probably lied to Jeffrey about the cause of her illness. So Jeffrey, who thought it was a normal illness, spent all the allowance I gave him over the years that he had saved to buy her medicine. It is worth noting that I always gave him a monthly allowance worth $500 a week, while he was still with me. She never got healed though, so I learned he took a part-time job to provide her with more funds for medicine. But he finally found out that his mom had been lying to him all along and kept spending all the money he gave her on drugs after he forced her to the hospital, which she always avoided because she knew what she was up to. Well, the doctor revealed that she was on drugs, that was why. He got angry, they argued over it, and I guess he cut off ties with her as well. So back to the main issue at hand. Jeffrey called me yesterday, his first call in 2 years, asking why I didn't pay his fourth-year college fees. I told him it was no longer my duty to do so now that he had found his biological mom. He argued that it was my duty to complete what I started. Like, how was it my duty to finish this? I thought he would come to me pleading for how he treated me in the past. But there he was acting stupidly. I told him I would never pay, so he should never call me again. As I type this post, it still hurts me a lot that someone that I carefully took care of all these years is acting like that. I still can't imagine that he only called for his selfish gains. Please share your honest thoughts on my post. I understand that if he doesn't pay his fees, he will have to drop out of college, but I don't feel like doing so because of how he acted in the past. So, am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for his fees? Update. Here is an update on my issue. Jeffrey came to my house this morning, but this time around, I was surprised by his actions. I guess he finally learned some sense because he came pleading that I forgive him for his past actions, and if possible, take him back as my son. He looked sincere in his apology, so I forgave him. After all, I took care of him all these years. Although he isn't my biological son, I have developed that bond with him over the years. I mean, we are all humans and we do make mistakes. I'm going to take things slow with him. I emphasized I would not be paying his college fees. He looked heartbroken but admitted that it's only fair. That's where things are as of now. You're a good person, OP, from raising Jeffrey to accepting him back after she royally effed up. It says a lot about your character. Jeffrey was an a-hole. You raised him and yet he dared to call you jealous because you won't let him see his biological mother. I understand him wanting to know his biological mother, but he could have gone through the whole thing without destroying his relationship with you. I'm glad he finally came back to his senses. You're not ready to fully trust him again, and I understand that. Hopefully, soon you both will be able to mend and heal your relationship to the fullest. Story 2. I've had a long engagement with my fiancé, got engaged December 2019. We were supposed to get married in 2021, but you can understand why that couldn't happen. So our wedding happened this past weekend. One of my best friends was supposed to attend as a bridesmaid, but she skipped last minute because of an emergency. To be honest, I was mad she skipped because the emergency happened almost a week ago. So she had time to figure things out and attend. So what happened was that her fiancé got in a car accident and was hospitalized. He was hospitalized for 5 days and on Friday he got discharged to go home. My friend had told me from the moment he got into the accident that she will skip the wedding just to be sure, and I told her we will see. So when I saw that he got discharged on Friday, I expected my friend to show up at the wedding after all, since his situation is not as dangerous right now. And I texted her, but she said that she will not be able to make it. She kept saying how he's still not well and being discharged doesn't mean he can stay alone without care for many hours, and since my wedding day would start at 9 a.m. on Saturday with the preparations etc., the ceremony would be at 7 p.m. on Saturday evening, and the reception and party would last until Sunday morning hours. She couldn't be away from home for that long, and she said she could compromise if she could only attend the ceremony. I said I don't want her there just for the ceremony, and she's a bridesmaid and supposed to be by my side the entire time. I also said that she should find him some care for the day so she can freely attend the wedding, and I suggested inviting either her parents or a friend to stay with him for that day. His parents live far away. She said it's not the same and she won't feel right being away for the entire day. I got pretty upset because she seemed to totally disregard my wedding after so long making preparations. And while I understand it's her fiancé, I was mad she didn't find a compromise to attend. She claims her compromise would be to just attend the ceremony and then go home again. But she's a bridesmaid. If she's not there for the full experience, it would be pointless. She said I'm an a-hole for making her feel guilty about caring for her hurt fiancé, and she said that his situation takes priority over my wedding. She said she's not sorry for prioritizing her significant other's health over me at this point, and if I was a good friend, I would understand instead of guilt-tripping her, and that I better not complain if I'm ever in a difficult situation. And I need my husband's help and support, and he chooses to attend someone's wedding over caring for his wife. Am I the a-hole? You're the a-hole, OP, and a terrible friend. I think you have lost this friend forever, and rightfully so. Just because her fiancé had been discharged, it doesn't mean he's fully healed. It just means he doesn't need hospital care and observation round the clock. The fact that they kept him in for 5 days means his injuries were pretty severe. It must have been a massive shock to your friend too, thinking there was a possibility she may lose her fiancé. Her mental state will have had quite the shock, as will that of other family and friends. And here you are making it all about you. Poor you. If I were your friend, I would totally reconsider our friendship. Now for some comments. Yes, you're the a-hole, a huge one. He just got discharged and obviously still needs care. She herself must be exhausted and stressed. She still offered a compromise just for you, and instead of appreciating it with all your heart, you caused her even more stress. Whenever a friendship is tested, it is always through a negative event, not a happy event. She couldn't be involved in your happy event, but that doesn't make her a bad friend. But you couldn't show support and understanding during her stressful time, which definitely makes you a bad friend. You're the a-hole. What is it about some people that when they get married, they lose all ability to be reasonable, empathetic humans? Your friend's fiancé was in a crash so serious that they were hospitalized for 5 days. Of course, her priority is to stay with him even once he was discharged. She gave you notice and then tried to find a compromise when you lost all sense and reason. and continued to push and guilt her into coming. Listen, I get that to you this is your day and you think the world should revolve around you. It doesn't. Shit happens, and instead of being understanding and decent, you respond in the worst way possible. What is it with making it all about you when your friend is taking care of someone who she loves, especially after a car accident? Spending 5 days in the hospital after that must not only be hard but very impactful. Also, she did give you a notice and it wasn't last minute. Just contradicting yourself at this point. The fact that you don't care about how your friend is being affected and worried sick about their partner after an accident shows your true colors. Literally trying to guilt trip her about your wedding and saying it's hopeless without her. It's effing stupid. Because it's not about her, it's about the person you're goddamn marrying. You should have been less selfish and instead said, I'm so sorry about what happened. Please let me know how he's doing once he gets out. I don't effing know. Showing actual empathy? Seems you lack it. You're the a-hole.